Where's that? Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Andreata Muforo, and I'm a partner at TLCOM Capital.
I'm Eloho Omame. I'm also a partner at TLCOM Capital.
So yes, at TLCOM Capital, we not only provide capital, but we want to be a real partner to our to the companies that we work with. Because if you think about it, writing a check takes a couple of days, right? But then what happens alongside a 7, 8, 10-year journey? It's about working together with the entrepreneurs. We want to be the first portal of call for a founder when they're thinking about their strategy, expansion, hiring. So we use our network, we leverage our ecosystems and the deep support and experience we have within the ecosystem to help and support our founders.
In addition, in very practical ways, our partnership with founders means, being the first port of call, like Andreata says. So you're truth teller in many ways, an idea, a thought partner, someone to exchange ideas with, and ideally we're in those moments, we're in the high moments, we're in the low moments. So we go over time with you as an entrepreneur. It's a difficult thing to do sometimes, but it's something that we hold ourselves accountable on. It's super important to us that in true partnership, we're not only partners when things are good, we're partners all throughout the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial journey.
So when I think about 5 years ago, that's 2020, which is fundamentally at the height of COVID, right? So very challenging time for many founders. When I think about what are they doing now compared to then, interestingly, what has also happened is while it was challenging, it also brought a lot of capital into the market because of the kind of zero interest rate environment in the West that then resulted in a lot of capital coming to Africa. And then with that came, an environment where there was a bit of distortion if you think about your ability. People were raising capital really fast, so lots of capital chasing, maybe you can say few investments. And what got lost a little bit was around a focus around fundraising and capital and high valuations. And that has since, corrected. There's less capital and people and founders are back to business fundamentals, right? When you think about your business and as you grow your business, do the unit economics make sense for your business? I think as a founder, yes, you need capital from investors to be able to grow, but you also need to figure out how do I get capital or cash flow from my business and from my customers, which I think is a really great kind of mindset shift from say that time.
Linked to that, I'd say it's interesting. I also look at the ecosystem as having learned through that cycle, having gone through a cycle where there was an abundance of capital, and then having now, in the last, I would say, couple of years, experienced, what happens when that capital gets sucked out of the system. And the result of that is you find founders back to fundamentals, but also I think lots more maturity around the role of venture capital in one's business, lots more maturity around how do I grow a business sustainably with the different sources of capital that are available, not just venture, and how do I build the resilience into my business such that, again, given that Africa as a whole is a frontier VC ecosystem, how do I build my business such that the next cycle that we see, because cycles come and go, I don't have effectively the rug pulled out from under me. So I think there's a maturity that necessarily comes with, frankly, going through some of these cycles and those dynamics. And so today versus 5 years ago, the strongest founders and the stronger founders, you see them operating from a place of maturity, having learned through those cycles and those lessons. An internal system that I've found has helped founders, or good founders have put in place to sustain themselves through the market cycle and to sustain momentum through the market cycle, I would say has really been around systematizing or organizing how they work with stakeholders around capital conversations. So not just equity investor conversations and relationships, but also thinking about how they deepen relationships on the debt side and how they build those, so that you engage with investors, stakeholders, including your board, not each time there's a crisis and each time you need capital, but sort of build those relationships sustainably, systematically, such that you're always telling a story about how the business is doing, for example. The inflection points around when you need capital they're visible ahead of time to the various stakeholders. And when you come to then pitch for capital, whether it's equity, debt, what have you, you're doing it in the context of a story that's already been told and with the signal of being a strong founder that you've already sent through the way that you manage your stakeholders. It might be anything as simple as monthly updates, for example, on the equity side, or even with your debt providers, how you engage with your board and your advisors, things like that. For me, that's one very strong system that I've seen founders implement and that I quite enjoy when I experience it.
And just to add to what Eloho has said is, when I think about resilience, resilience it's more like, it's like, how do you act in the face of a challenge and in the face of resistance, right? Something is pushing back at you. And when I look at the founders, I think what helps to build resistance and help them, or rather resilience, help them keep building and pushing in the midst of a lot of changes. One is the vision. So staying on point and on focus on the vision of why am I doing, what am I doing? I think there's also just, when you think about being a bit more grounded in terms of when you look at the situation, is there something I need to stop? Is there something I need to adjust? So that you're making decisions in real time in a way that also helps to ensure sustainability for your business. I think also resilience is about the people that are around you, right? So whether it's your investors, whether it's your C-level, whether it's other founders. So I think many founders are finding opportunities to draw strength and encouragement from other investors within the ecosystem. Yes, female founders face significant barriers when accessing capital. If you think about the female founders that have raised capital, if you look at kind of the capital that was raised in the Africa ecosystem and how much of that went to companies with one female founder, it's 2%. And then if you think about the percentage that went to the founders, where it's either female, the founder or the all-female team, it's like 1%. So it's a real challenge within the ecosystem for female founders. So there are a few high-level kind of barriers that I think about that female founders face. I think the first one is around bias, right, that exists when female founders are communicating to investors. You find that many investor teams don't have women in their investment committee, because I think as human beings we are drawn to invest to people who sound like us, look like us. So having diverse teams within investment teams, I've seen encourages for more diversity around your investment portfolio, I think is one thing. I think the other challenge is, there's a challenge around, I think, even just the pipeline. Because even us as investors, we find that about 15 to 20% of the companies that we see are have a female founder inside. So that's pretty low, right? So even if you think about the base of it, there are actually not as many female founders. So I think some work needs to be done to also cultivate more female founders, which is something that we encourage. So if you think about this summit, the idea is to bring female founders to connect with one another. It's a lonely journey. So the summit, like the Female Founder Summit, brings them together to work with each other, to collaborate, to have somebody to call when you're facing a challenge, to open a door for you. I think also for us at TLCOM, we have a majority all-female partner team, and that also helps with our decision making. And for us, we have a positive bias towards female founders. And So that diversity, I think, is part of the way that we try to ensure that our portfolio is diverse.
Success long term for us at TLCOM looks like, for me, I would say the strongest lever is long-term institutional value. We think about building a firm that survives any of the current partnership at TLCOM today. We think about building a firm that is undisputedly the firm of reference for venture capital in Africa. And the journey towards getting to that point is necessarily a long one, right? Because you have to go through ecosystem cycles, you have to, go through fund lives and fund cycles in order to get to a point where you've proven the efficacy of your investment model and the resilience of your organization. So that's how we think about value in the long term. And we think that sort of framing has knock-on effects for many other things around us in the ecosystem that we operate in.
I think also linked to what Eloho has shared is that we see success as a time when global capital, much more global capital, is making investments in African tech entrepreneurs, because capital follows returns, right? And the more we show that Africa venture capital works and investors are able to get returns, then more global capital will come. There's no reason why Africa should be attracting less than 2% of global venture capital when we have a significant percentage, over 10% of the global population, for example. So that's another metric of success for us. Mm-hmm. The other, I would say, when I think about it in terms of kind of gender, is I would like to see a setup where, I had meant, right now we find that 20 to 35% of our pipeline has female founders as part of the founders. So I want to see that same metric also maybe even more, when I look at how much capital is going to female founders. So that will also be a measure of success for me. So for the female founders, I want to reiterate that TLCOM remains committed to supporting you, to supporting the ecosystem. Of course, we cannot fund every business with a female founder, but what we try to do is to make sure that we're able to touch and influence in as much in different ways that we can. So whether this is the work that we're doing with First Check Africa, for example, which is a fund that invests in businesses with at least a female founder. So we've made an allocation towards that. The Female Founders Summit, which is an opportunity for founders to engage with one another, to support each other, to build a community and an ecosystem. And then, of course, through our fund, in terms of how we invest, and actually we meet that threshold when you think about how many female founders are in the ecosystem and where we've invested, something that a benchmark that we meet. We say that we exist because you exist as a founder, because our goal is to fund founders. Thank you.